Okay, Art, some exciting news. We now know the Steelers' 2020 schedule. And I know for me personally, when I first get a look at it, I always look for the primetime games. I always look to see if there's any holiday games. What do you look at first when you get the schedule for the first time?
Well, Miss, like you, I think first thing you look at is the home opener and then the primetime games. And certainly this year with the Thanksgiving night game, that's going to be interesting. First time we've ever hosted on Thanksgiving night, and we're excited about that.
It was the first time on Christmas when the Ravens were in town at Heinz Field a few years ago. It just seems like these two teams keep meeting on holidays. Is it fair to say that maybe the NFL really likes this AFC North rivalry and these two teams that always seem to take it up a notch?
Well, as you know, we've had a lot of great games against the Ravens down through the years, and obviously the country likes to see them, and so we've had quite a number of primetime games with them, and it's always fun, and so hosting them on Thanksgiving night will be hopefully a fun night.
You mentioned the Steelers home opener at Heinz Field. That will be against the Denver Broncos, but opening the season on the road in primetime, Monday Night Football against the New York Giants. What do you like about those two matchups?
Well, you know, opening on a Monday night is interesting. Obviously, another primetime game, another chance to be in front of the country, and so we have no complaints about that. And then the Broncos are always an interesting matchup for us. We've had a lot of interesting games with them down through the years, so I think two good games to get started with.
All right, we keep talking about primetime games, and the Steelers, as we sit here today, only have 4. The maximum is 5. And I feel like we always just assume there's going to be 5 primetime games. Of course, that can change, but sitting at 4 right now, is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You know, I think we're fine with it. Of course, we know that things can change, and in this day and age, probably will change in terms of some of the flex scheduling that goes on. But I think the way the schedule lays out, we're fine with it. Obviously, playing 2 night games in the Northeast in December is going to be it'll be interesting, and particularly being up there in Buffalo that time of year with a night game. People will be have to dress warm for that one, that's for sure. But I think the schedule lays out pretty well, and no West Coast trips, so those are always things that coaches like to avoid, and so I think all things considered, it worked out pretty well.
All right, the preseason schedule was also released as well today. We knew the Hall of Fame game was taking place against the Dallas Cowboys, and you had mentioned earlier this offseason that for coaches and players, 5 preseason games can be a lot. What does it mean, though, to the organization, knowing the reason why you are playing in that game?
Missi, we're excited about being part of the Hall of Fame ceremonies this year. Obviously, we have some very special people that are going to be inducted this year, and very excited about that. And so while you don't really like to have 5 preseason games, we are excited to be part of those ceremonies, and looking forward to seeing Troy and Bill going in that weekend, and then Donnie will be going in a few weeks later. So really excited about that, and I know Steeler fans everywhere are going to be wanting to be part of that celebration.
Lastly, Art, just for season ticket holders, Steelers fans in general, who, when the schedule comes out, likes to circle what games they want to go to, make arrangements, what do you say to them about potentially not knowing what the fan experience could be like for them in 2020?
Missi, we're going to do everything we can to be prepared to host our fans at Heinz Field, and I know the league will be doing everything we can to be ready to host fans around the country at different stadiums. We have some time, fortunately, to get ready, and we'll use that time to make sure we're in a position to have a safe environment and a friendly environment for our fans, and so all I can do is assure them that we're going to be working hard to make sure that Heinz Field will be a great place for them to come and watch football this year.
All right, Art, I really appreciate your time. Thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Miss.